Yeah, you guys can spend this time, spending your experience points. I think it's a
Yeah,
good
that's what
idea.
I'm trying to figure out right now. Is I appear to be missing the single page that was the end of our session from last time
Oh, that
that had
sucks.
experience points on it.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm looking for that right now. But anyway, go ahead. Do you remember yours? Oh,
Yeah,
here
I
it is.
wrote I wrote down mine, but
Yeah.
again, I'm kind of in a career hold right now.
Right. Yeah. That was. So I'm just. Yeah. Sorry. I'm like way behind on getting these notes posted up too. I've got the last two sessions. I've got, for whatever reason, the one from the 21st of January has been taking me forever to get done. Um, so I hope to have those up by this week.
Yeah, no
On it.
worries. I mean, we are having like, um, I guess we are having like one more session after this,
Okay.
maybe two, but we are almost at the end. So of the campaign, just FYI,
Hmm.
and then we'll figure out what next. What's next?
All right. I am going to. My headset's wireless, but it's plugged in right now. I'm gonna try unplugging it and see if it works. So,
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah,
does it work?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
still hear you.
All right. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened with it. Whether it at first I thought maybe it was a bad battery, but I guess
Hmm.
the battery still works. I'll keep it plugged in though when I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as painting, Sean, I'm getting into a new scale of historicals,
Oh, yeah.
and the scale is so far off of everything else I've done. It's like not only do I have to paint models, but every single piece of terrain and everything else also has to be pretty much built from scratch.
Right. Well, yeah. That I need to build more terrain. I stopped gaming for like 25 years. So I had like a couple things and a couple half finished projects, but I essentially have like zero terrain in any scale really. And
Yeah.
then lately, like I've been like, oh look, here's a lot of epic that's cheap. I'll throw in a bid for it and see what happens. So I'm like winning all these weird things. So I've got some epic. I've got some War Master.
Yeah, don't don't tell me about it. I have like two old school Necromunda gangs, the Goliaths and the Orlocks.
Yeah,
They're almost all metal. I mean, the Orlocks are all metal.
yeah,
So
that's the other thing
yeah,
I've been punting on too. Is I just got like, after not seeing any Delacs that were worth the price, I lucked into a guy like, oh, these are my Delacs that I want to get rid of, and I guess he painted him when he was like 12 or something. So it's like, I was like, oh, I now have a complete Delac gang, because I was thinking I was actually on the verge of buying them from Heresy, because the like. Uh, Necromunda, like the original metal models, and Mordheim just go for stupid prices on eBay.
yes, I know. I've bought like those two Delag guys for like more than $50, I think. But I
Right,
just, I just,
exactly.
I just love the minis. I really had to have this gang. But the worst thing is that no one in my gaming group plays
Hmm.
Necromunda. But right now I'm hanging out with those Horus Heresy guys. Well, I actually missed
Yeah.
missed yesterday's game, but whatever.
Hmm.
And we are thinking about, because there's an unofficial Necromunda for the Horus Heresy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we are thinking about playing that on our next
That's
like
cool.
tournament in March. Uh,
That'd be cool.
yeah,
Do you
yes,
do you
sir.
play guard?
I play guards in 40k, and I guess I can use them
Like
as a
conscripts or something? Yeah.
yeah, no, as a cult militia or as an imperial army.
Hmm.
Before there was the guard, there was the imperial army.
Yes.
But I'm mainly playing Alpha Legion for 40k, because yeah, I like the sneaky stabby, operator shit that's going on with them.
That's
So
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. what I started doing is I started making like gangs or squads, and then just using them depending on what the people I'm visiting are playing. So like I'll use them. If we're playing Rogue Trader, I'll just use them for Rogue Trader or Shadow War or Necromunda. I'll just have a list for each thing, or I won't even make a separate list. I'll just use the same list and be like, oh, okay, it's that one slightly different. So that's how I've been tackling it, because finding I don't know anybody who plays what I want to play out here, and so I have to travel to do it, and it's kind of like, oh well, these guys want to play this.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to connect Brian to us, but he apparently...
I'm here.
Oh, you are here.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna plug in.
Brian, once again, I can't hear you very well.
I've actually got the microphone in right now.
Oh, wait, say something now.
Hello? Hello?
Now it's much better.
Yeah.
Now it's much better.
Okay.
I think before maybe you were too close to the mic or something. It was a little muffled.
Yeah, I was still moving around plugging stuff in.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just it sounded it was clipping a little bit too, but it sounds good now.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, spend your experience points, gents. Yeah, I actually would love to play like... Well, sometimes I'm playing, old editions of Warhammer Fantasy, like 6th edition. And Warhammer Skirmish for 6th edition is a favorite game of mine. I love it to death. Especially if you are using the Albion campaign with all the weather tables.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and random magic. It's very cool. But I'm still thinking about, of course, getting into Age of Sigmar using my Warhammer Fantasy models. Like no buying Stormcast for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've heard that's pretty good rules-wise. No matter what you think about the world, rules-wise, it's a very good game.
Heck, you could probably play a fantasy story within just using the Age of Sigmar rules. If you have 2 fantasy armies.
Well,
I'm just saying, you could use your fantasy armies, just use the Age of Sigmar rule set, and still have it take place in the old world.
yeah, I mean, you could do that, but I actually have 2 models. I will make photos next time and show it to you guys, because we really need to start in a few seconds.
Yes.
I have 2 models for my Age of Sigmar Skirmish Oriental Warband. Like,
Cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to make these guys like ancient China, feudal Japan, and I have a kit bashed guy using High Elf, Shadow Warriors, and Imperial Militia, the best kit, by the way, bits, and he's like, he's got this Dao blade, like Kwando, and I also got a miniature from a board game. Which is an Oni. I don't know if you guys know what Oni is from a Japanese folklore. It's like a demon.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a there are good Oni, bad Oni. Anyway, this is a gorgeous mini, and I'm planning on getting like 10 models total, like making this warband really, really, really unique. And I want to give it that Oriental feel. And maybe when I'm going to paint it, make it like a bit Dark Age of Sigmar-y.
You should do a border town burning with the Mordheim rules.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah. By the way, Mordheim. That's another thing. I would love to play it, but no one plays it in Poland. Yeah. And I have the books.
Yeah. Well, that's I got into a lot of witch hunters last year. I played a bunch of Mordheim for the first time last Memorial Day here, so the end of May. And I started like, oh, where can I find this stuff? And the prices were stupid, so I bought. I think like Reaper has a guy who looks like a witch hunter. He's got like the hat and he's got a big hammer in his hand. And then I just as a lark, was looking around and like, oh, I'm getting rid of, essentially all of these 5th and 6th edition flagellants and witch hunter dudes, and so I bought it up and it's sitting in a box somewhere.
Yeah, I have like 7 witch hunters from different manufacturers. I have the one from Kings of War.
Oh, wow.
I have like 2 from Reaper, one from Shibor,
Yeah.
yeah, and I also have, but it's actually my worst looking mini. I have the 8th edition, Empire Army Witch Hunter, which the mini normally is really cool, but this is like the worst fail cast, fine cast that I ever have. This guy is horrible. Like, it's a badly made recast. I think it may be a recast actually, because I don't believe that even Finecast could be so shitty. Like, his hat is semi-transparent because the resin is so thin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Did you get it from China?
No, I've got it like from Allegro. Allegro is like Polish eBay.
Okay.
It was reasonably priced, not painted. So I guess that it's a real deal. You can buy them anymore. At least you couldn't buy them back then when I was buying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it came, and I'm seeing this, and I'm oh fuck, seriously. Okay, guys. Anyway, I hope that each of you spend your experience points. Who's making notes today?
Is Andy out today?
Yeah, Andy's
Yeah,
out.
he's out.
He got sick. He got sick.
Okay.
Did somebody finish up their notes last time? Their 3 sessions?
I did, yeah. I'm 2 behind. Putting them up on the thing.
But you've added 30 points for your...
Yes, I did.
Yeah, to your character sheet. All right, cool.
Actually, that's a good question. Did I add it to my character sheet? Let me look right now. I added it to my paper one, but not my...
Okay. So, I don't know, I guess that maybe, I don't know, Jason, maybe you could do the notes? I don't remember if you did them, like, how long ago you
I did them right
before Sean.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so Brian, maybe you could do them.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you. Alright, so let's get it on. There was a spark. There was a spark, and then there was light. And noise. From outside of the Grand Manor in Talabheim, people suddenly heard and saw a huge explosion, tearing away a huge portion of Palace's left wing. You don't know how long you have been like out of commission, but you were awoken by voices, chittering voices. At first, you can't really understand what they are saying. They're like, but then you can feel the warmth coming from small silver medallions in your pockets. And I'm of course talking about Vincent and Sally. And you can hear the voices taking on a different note. Quick, quick! Search the rubble! Search the rubble! Quick! What did it? I don't know. Someone called the Gracier! Something like that. Vincent, you woke up. There's a huge piece of bone crushing you to the ground. It's a claw. A claw which belonged to the great worm, great undead worm. Now it's been torn away. Actually, that's the last thing you remembered. That right before the explosion, which you've lit, which you've caused, together with Silke and Sally, the dragon raised its paw to crush you to the ground. Well, it looks like you've succeeded. All around you is dust. Dust, fallen masonry, destroyed stone. You can actually see the night sky through the collapsed roof, and you can hear the skittering and chittering all around you. The rats are close. Sally, you and Silke are on your feet. You managed to awaken earlier.
I'm gonna help Vincent up.
Yeah,
He's pinned down.
that's what I was saying. That you are searching frantically for Vincent. You are all covered from head to toe in dust, and of course you're bruised and bloody. Each of you lost half of your health points. Basically, you're on half of your full HP.
Oh, that's where we're at.
Would that put us over?
No, take your current hit points and deduce half of it.
And that's just Sally and myself.
Yeah, Leopold is Leopold. You don't have to do this because I'll return to you in a second.
You're gonna lose more. All right. So rounding up or rounding down?
Rounding down. Always round down in Warhammer Fantasy. It's this kind of game. Yeah. Anyways, Silke is like, hurry up, Halfling. They're coming. I can see them in the gloom.
I'm guessing I'm pinned.
Yeah, you are pinned.
So I can't get up on my own.
Sally, you found Vincent. He seems to be quite okay, except for a huge gash on his forehead, and bruises over his face. But there's a huge piece of dragon bone pinning him to the ground. So yeah.
Let's lift it.
What?
Let's lift it.
Okay, so Silke joins you, and together you're trying to lift the claw. Roll for make a strength test with a +10 from Silke.
And I'll help if I can. However,
you can barely move, but fortunately, Sally is a strong halfling. Adrenaline is coursing through his veins, and there's and there's Silke right next to him. So together they're like, heave, and they've.
I put my hand out to help him up, but I'm like looking at him, like you're shaking my hand to get up.
Yeah, it's like you can only lift me up like halfway, Sally.
I'm glaring at him.
Hurry up! They are almost here, and you can actually, hear their voices like, "Quick! I think I saw movement. They're there! Hurry! Scary!
Move!
Let's get back in. They're coming from the outside, I'm assuming. So
you don't know. You are all dazed. You are essentially, your vision is blurry. You're still hearing ringing in your ears. There's smoke and dust everywhere. So you're trying your best not to cough out your lungs.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the quickest exit is inside the manor or if it's outside the manor. I'm assuming it's inside the manor if they're coming from outside.
Roll for perception, each of you. I'm actually going to roll for Silke.
I'm still dead, right?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, cool.
I see something.
You see that the explosion of the Skaven weapon tank actually managed to blew out a huge portion of the wall opposite to you. You're thinking that it will probably be the best way of getting out of here.
So that leaves outside of the manor?
Yeah. Well, the Skaven are very close. You can actually smell them.
I guess we're leaving the manor. They're going to be investigating it. Unless, Sally, if you want to go back inside, that's another alternative.
Silke is like, move, you cretins! They are almost upon us!
Lead the way. Go.
All right, I want to go out the hole that was made.
Yeah.
And that leads out.
She actually kicked you in the ass very hard as you were moving past her. Like, investigate the manor, fuck's sake. Lady. You are making your way to the hall when suddenly you see a silhouette coming from the side. It's blocking your way. But then you look closer and you see that it's none other than Leopold himself.
Move. Go back the way you came.
Yeah, Leopold.
Yeah.
You see.
Get out of my way.
Yeah.
I thought I was still dead.
No.
Okay.
Like I said. I mean, why would you be dead?
Because I'm at -2 wounds.
No, you're on 1, first of all.
Okay.
Like I said, Leopold, you've made your way earlier outside of the palace after you've heard a huge explosion. You decided that it would be probably a better idea than to wander the zombie-infested corridors by yourself after you've split your ways with Yavandir and Yorn. And when you were making your way, right under the palace walls, you've heard muffled voices, and then you've heard one angry voice belonging to a young woman saying, some unpleasant things. So you've decided to investigate and made your way to a huge tear in the palace wall, outer wall. And then you see 3 silhouettes, a short one, a tall one, and a female one, coming towards you. Vincent, Sally, and Silke, you are all seeing Leopold Bozoman, who's looking like he's been severely wounded, but still standing. You are all outside, but Leopold, you also hear lots of chittering, verminous voices not far behind your friends. I don't remember which one of you gave the baker's girl Karsta his.
That was Vincent.
That was Vincent. So, okay.
Yeah.
So Vincent, you've only heard chittering, while Sally and Leopold, you hear, I saw a movement. There, hurry! And yeah, your next course of action.
Keep moving away from the manor, I'm assuming, if we're already outside. Just moving out into the streets, like choosing alleyways, just getting further away from the manor.
Yeah, you're all outside. There are only
I try to link up with the group. I'm assuming my arm is still pretty much useless. Was my left arm?
Yeah, I think it is. You've written down what happened to you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't remember.
Well,
your arm got gashed real bad. I don't know, game-wise, what that did.
I think it was you can use it to the end of combat. I mean, you can use it now, but it's still messed up pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, it's night. The sky is clear. You are in the middle of Talabheim's manor district. Well, yeah, sort of in the middle. You need to make your way back to your base. There are Skaven patrols everywhere, almost probably. One person rows for navigation or, returning back to the base. The rest can help that person by adding a total of +5 each to the roll.
We're testing on intelligence?
Yeah, I'm assuming, Sally, since you're the most sneaky, that you'd be kind of taking point on this, so...
I got a 44 intelligence.
Yeah, I agree that you should be taking it over me.
Okay. Leopold, do I have your concentration as well?
Which one of you has navigation, by the way?
Navigation.
I don't think any of us do.
I think Lucas might.
Yeah,
if he does.
Well, you know what? I could. I think it's one of the things I can take. I could take it right now.
Really?
Well, I mean, let me see. Do I have navigation in my skill set here? I thought it. No, it was follow trail.
Okay, so you can. So it's time to roll for intelligence. One person rolls for intelligence because you need to find your way back to your base. The other person rolls for sneak. So I guess that Sally probably should roll for being
Yeah, I'll roll for sneak. I got 59.
Yeah.
Yeah, silent move. I would have I think 48 only.
Yeah. So
but intelligent. Yeah.
So which one of you rolls for intelligence to find your way back to?
I've got 48 in intelligence also.
Yeah, take it away, Leopold, because I'm still dizzy, and I can hear ringing in my ears.
All right.
So, Leopold rolls first. Nice. Okay. Now
It
Sally.
fails.
I have alley cats, silent move, and concealment. I don't know if that'll help.
Okay. That's good to know. Roll then.
Ooh. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, but I get a bonus, right?
+5 and +5. Yeah.
That does it.
I think alley cat gives you plus something, doesn't it?
Yeah. Eventually, you've made your way back to your base. A few times it was a really close call, because your little, your little endeavor at the Grand Manor managed to alert almost every single ratman in the city. So more than once you needed to hide in the alleys or in empty abandoned houses to avoid the Skaven. But fortunately, in the end, you've managed to return. Inside your base, you found Lucas, Yavandir, and Yorn, all discussing stuff over your table. There were, of course, recruits working as guards outside the entrance, but they've spotted you. They knew who you were, so they've sketched a salute and then let you in. Yeah, then you then you came down and you look at Lucas, who seems to be rather pleased. He's like, he's beaming a bit. He looks like someone who ate a decent meal in the last, the last time that he ate anything. He looks pleased with himself. Yavandir and Yorn are all bruised and bloody, covered in quickly applied bandages. But other than that, they also look on the better part of being alive. Oh, says Yorn. Wow, look who's back. We were actually thinking that you wouldn't make it back. Nice.
Yeah, I'm just looking really pissed off and not in a talkative mood.
Well,
I'm just looking half dead.
Yeah. Where's Otto?
Otto?
Is he here?
Otto who?
Wasn't he the surgeon?
Foreman, right?
The surgeon. The old man surgeon.
No, actually he's not. Well,
we gotta do something about Leopold's wounds.
Then,
looks like you're about to fall over.
Yes, I lost my hammer.
You almost lost your hand.
Leopold, says Silke in tired voice, go take a seat. Right now we won't be able to bring Otto here. It's too late and it's dangerous on the streets, especially now. You have to wait until morning.
Alright.
We don't have any healing salves or healing droughts here, do we?
We do. We just need the heal skill.
Yeah.
Like I got 2 healing salves, and I think I drank the drought last session.
Yeah, I think the problem is that because I'm so severely injured that I can't.
I'm down to 1 wound. as well.
I can't use the stuff.
Yeah, you can use
Yes.
the fast acting, like, healing
Yeah.
draughts, because they don't heal heavy wounds.
The salve, I think you can use.
Yeah,
But that's
need,
a slower. Yeah.
first of all, I think you need to have the heal skill to use it.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're waiting on Otto.
Unless somebody else has it.
Did you get the necromancer? Asks the elf.
I believe so. Can't say for sure.
Typical.
Well, we
You wanna
got
go
her.
scrape her off
well,
the walls.
We got her beast. At least we know that for sure. And she was on it.
She's
So-
dead, says Suka. I saw her body crushed under the
Yeah, she's-
masonry.
She's painting the walls right now, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, at least that's taken care of. Nice, says Jorn.
Lucas, what news from what was it called, Dunkerud?
Yeah, Dankerud from
Mhm.
General Jorn. Well, we've spoken. I've told him about the work parties, and he promised to actually do something about it. He also said that we have very little time to do anything. So I guess it's time for some serious action. He said that the army is already outside.
Are they going to do a raiding
Oh.
party on the slave party in the forest?
He said he will try to do this. Whether Gennaro will be in those, like, slave parties remains to be seen. I don't think I don't think that Honorius, that we've actually spoken to Honorius and told him about this plan of ours. So, well,
Alright.
so I guess
Did-
that maybe tomorrow we should do this if we want to rescue Gennaro in that way.
Yeah, agreed. If
Are you
if we have any
suggesting we
water,
go out?
What?
I was wondering.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I think that's what he meant. If we have any water, I want to like basically clean up
Yeah,
and get something to eat.
you have. There's also food here. Not much, because you don't have much food. You don't have much
Here we
food
go.
anyway, but you have enough.
We're waiting on word from a couple of scouts on those entrances. Have they come back yet?
No, not yet. They will probably come back next morning, if at all.
All right.
So what are our options? Asks Jorn, because we are slowly running out of time, and I'm thinking we are running in circles.
Well,
You got to get the gate open.
Yeah.
Yes, and so we need to hear back from Karsta and what was the halfling's name?
Tobol.
Tobal. Yeah, we need to hear from them where the poison globes are, so that we can poison everybody up in the tower. Right? Isn't that what we were gonna do?
How do you want to transport the poison globes used in a war machine to the tower? Asks Jorn. Just curious.
I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
I suppose.
are they the size of barrels or something?
At least the size of barrels, says Suka. Perhaps they are even bigger. I don't know how big the war machines are they're constructing. Honorius could probably tell us more about it.
And we were planning on blowing up the war machines as well.
Well, I think the ideal solution is to destroy the globes at the entrances of the caves. That way, it will kind of, for one, it will destroy the globes in that area, as well as create a barrier for those Skaven who aren't equipped to move through that stuff. There are multiple siege weapons, and they're all spread out across the town.
Actually, they are in 3 construction places, all rather near each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was wondering if we could get, because we were going to try to. I thought part of what our plan was to poison the people inside the guard tower and then open the gates somehow. Well,
we might still be able to do that because they need to eat, and right. I don't know if Karsta, if the food she prepares makes their way up there, but if we're going to move, I think now's the time that she spikes all the food she can, and then if we could get her out of there, and if we could deliver some of that to the tower, a few hours before we decide to make the raid. Hopefully we will be raiding either a very sick or dead guard detail.
Right.
Honestly, I don't think we really need to blow any of the machines, says the elf. What we really need to do is just open the gates and let the army in.
Yes.
We will also need to contact the Myrmidian Temple and he grimaces a bit, the dwarves, as well as your leaders in Dankrut for a coordinated attack. The army will deal with the rest. And I don't think that the Skaven will be able to use those war machines in the confines of the city. Or at least not as effective as they would do, as they would be using them, to fire outside of the crater.
So you think they'll have to be deployed outside of the gate?
Well, no, what I mean is that we simply need to open the gate, and that's it.
Agreed. That's, I think, priority number 1. Yeah, I think the dwarves are in... are they in Geltwood or Guild's Row? Can't remember.
The stone house is what it's called, says Yorn.
Alright,
I think it's in the Low District or Merchant District.
Yeah, I forget.
I'm looking at the map now.
Yeah, it's in the Low District, number 10.
Okay. So they're a little close. Actually, they're close to the siege weapon. I'm just trying to think. The folks in the Meridian Temple are right by the front gate. So if we need to get Hufner's troops a clear way in, they should be able to kind of use their position to open up the gate on Morris Road and let in the troops there. Then the dwarves, they can help push through to the Wizard Way. Maybe we can do that at the same time.
Well, we will need to coordinate this, says Yorn.
Lucas, did the general say anything on when he might approach the city? Or is he waiting on us?
Well, from what I understand, the army is actually outside already.
His army? Well, the remnants of his forces?
No, I mean the Emperor's army. the Empire army. I mean, it's not remnants. It's the full Imperial army.
Didn't Hufner say that he was going to send troops to help?
What?
Did I miss?
How was he supposed to send troops if the gate is closed?
Well, that's what I was saying. We can probably are right there by the gate. They might be able to break a way in for them.
Sukas is like, she's scratching her head. I think we all need to take some rest and think about this in the morning, because obviously you've either been brain damaged or you have forgotten everything that we've spoken for the last few days. But I'm blaming this time. I'm blaming this on the fight with the dragon.
Okay.
Or it could be the note taker.
Do what?
It could be the note taker. That would be me.
I think I misunderstood when you said the army was what that.
Well, there's two. It could be a confusion about the two armies. The Emperor's army is outside of the Talbastan.
Yes, correct.
And then you're talking about what's his face's army and Dankarud, who I agree with you. I thought he did say something about coordinating to let him know when it was going down so that he could come from the outside, but I don't know how much of a plan that actually was.
People, says Yavandir, it's very easy. Look, he shows you the map. There's a simple single entrance to Talabheim. Yes? Only one. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Outside of this entrance is your Emperor's army. Probably commanded by one of your high-ranking generals, right? Right. Here,
yes.
he points you to Low District, are the dwarfs. Here, he points you to God's Row, are the Tylians. And here, he points you to Dankarut, are the remnants of Talabheim's army. Not the Empire's, not Emperor's, Talabheim's. Yes? So, what we need to do is coordinate all of those four forces to simultaneously attack the Ratmen. We open up the gates for the Emperor's army, not Talabheim's, Emperor's army. Right? Right.
Correct.
Then, we inform the dwarfs, who surge out of their little stone warren and take the fight to the Ratmen. Then, the Tylians do the same thing in God's Row. Perhaps they can even attack one of the construction sites because they're rather close. And finally, after we've sent the message, the Yorn's army, or whatever your general's name is, he rides through the east side of the city, through the Manor District, Darkrook Downs, the Taugarten, and, meets with the Emperor's army coming from the west. It's not hard!
I want to look at the elf and be like, I think I got hit a little harder than I expected because I had no idea we had a Talayan. Because I didn't expect we have a Talayan force here in Talabheim.
You have Tylian force. We are speaking about this. Goddammit, you came on. The Tylians are still holed up in their temple. At least that's what we were hearing all this time. Yes, Tylians and dwarves are the only resistance islands in the Hall of Talabheim. I
thought they were Meridians in the temple.
I mean, Myrmidians, yes, well, but I've heard that Myrmidians are mostly Tylians, or, something like that. I don't know. I've heard that Myrmidia is a Tylian or a Stalian deity. I don't know. I'm not versed in your inferior human deities. Right? Right.
Right.
So, now that I've been vexed, I think I've made myself rather clear. And I also think, for the record, that we should abandon this moronic idea about saving slaves coming to the wood, because if we defeat the Ratmen, there will be no need to do this.
Right, and I'm guessing in the meantime, you and Yorn are going to go after the head honchos to add to the confusion.
Well, says
Um,
Jorn, first of all, it's the first time in my life that I'm seeing an elf so pissed. I kinda like it. Um, we should really need to identify all those head hunches. I mean, what? You've killed the necromancer, so that's one down. But there's still the engineer and the what's his name, Gracier, right?
Hmm.
All right. Well, there's only two of us to do the job, and it will be pretty hard. I mean, the engineer seems like an easier kill than the Gracier. There's also the question about what we are going to do. Well, I mean, with our forces, with all the recruits that we've gathered. Are we going to support the dwarves, the Myrmidians? Are we going to storm the gate en masse and open it for the remnant? I mean, for the army waiting outside. We will need to send one of us to Dankerud to inform Hefner about the assault, about the exact time of the assault. Like,
I thought we were gonna try to do flares. That was what we had in the notes.
yeah,
well,
but he has to get his army over here,
first
at
of
least
all,
outside.
First of all, says Silke, he'll need to mobilize all of his forces. It will take time. Second of all, I'm not sure if the flares are a good idea when it comes to alerting Hefner. I think we could use flares to coordinate our own forces in a simultaneous attack all around the city.
Agreed. I think the flares will come after the initial attack.
Well, I mean, after we'll open the gates, we will be able to fire flares from the top of the tower to signal the Empire's army that the coast is clear. While all of our cells in the city will see the signal from the tower, they will fire their flares, which in turn will mean that they will begin the assault.
This is what I'm thinking. Hear me out, then. Let me know your suggestions. I suggest as many of us, minus Yorn and Yvandir, perhaps you two could go after the engineer, because the accuracy of those siege weapons, if they get them up and running, might play in. He might have something to do with that. But everybody else within our resistance will push towards the Wizard's Way as quietly as possible till we get to the foot. And then as we charge the Wizard's Way, we signal the dwarves to start pushing towards the Wizard's Way, because if we make noise at the Wizard's Way, we'll be in the middle of a choke point. Even if we open up the gates, they still need to make it down the ramp. And I'm thinking if we can use the dwarves to set a foothold at the bottom of the Wizard's Way to prevent the Empire army of getting stuck in the choke.
That's a good idea, says the elf. I actually like it a lot.
And then we'll all try to clear the gatehouse. The dwarves will clear the bottom and hold it to allow the Empire's troops to get down into the city. And then the Temple of Meridian, perhaps just harass and harry some of the Skaven forces to pull them away from the Wizard's Way.
I think that my people, says Silka, will need to join the dwarves in creating a distraction to buy the Empire's army some time, and to buy Hefner's remnants some time in reaching the Manor district.
Okay.
But first of all, we really need to coordinate this to the last second, because if we take the tower too early, the Skaven will simply send reinforcements and slaughter us inside.
Yep.
If we won't manage to take it and signal the dwarves and Myrmidians that it's time for them to work, they will be encircled and massacred.
Okay.
If we won't be able to communicate with Hefner in the right manner, then his remnants will be killed even before they will reach half of the Manor district.
Right. Maybe Lucas, you could go back and tell the general to start mobilizing and position his army outside the gate. Maybe is there a forest nearby?
Well, I mean,
Can't really
not
tell.
the gates, says Lucas, outside of the town.
Yeah, outside of the town by God's Row. That gate, the inner gate, not the Wizard's Way.
I
The-
think that it would probably be a good idea.
Have them stationed out in the closest wood or the closest
Yeah, Dunkard
behind the
Forest.
closest
I mean,
hill.
Tal Grunhar Forest, actually. The road leading from Tal Grunhar Forest near Clarfeld through the Morr's Road. They will attack the city from the northeast. Through the God's Row, link with Myrmidians, and then push through to Merchant District and link with the Empire's army. Says Lucas, looking at the map.
Should we do something like high noon in 2 days' time?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We will also need to divide our own forces, says Jorn, into kill teams. Essentially, we'll take most of them to the high tower anyway, but the rest create 3 to 5 men, multiple 3 to 5 man units, groups, squads, whatever you want to call it. Give each of them a flare, and when the time comes, order them to unleash chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably in the merchants district where the siege weapons are.
Yes, but not only, says Yavandir. We will also need to lure some of the Skaven forces away from the merchant district. Perhaps to Manor district, to Goldvault, maybe even to our own guild row, where we have our base.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if they already are going to have some Skaven up at the Manor district for the next couple of days as I put my finger in my ear, try to get my hearing back.
You actually haven't noticed that Walter Gopfert is also in the room with you, although he was probably sleeping. If I may. May I?
Yes. Please.
I think that you only need to worry about Ekmorkas the Sparker when it comes to the Skaven leaders.
The Sparker, is that the
That's the engineer guy.
Yes,
Okay.
the clan scryer representative in this city.
I agree.
Allow me to explain. Asorag, the Steel-Eye, the Grey Seer, is well, he's a Grey Seer, right? He's the supreme commander of all the Skaven forces here. That said, the Skaven hate one thing. They hate failure. If you manage to do what all of you suggested, actually, and open the Wizard's Way to your Emperor's forces, as well as coordinate the attacks with the Dwarves, Myrmidians, and Talabheim's, well, the remnants of Talabheim's armies, you stand a good chance of destroying the weapons. Or well, if not outright, then after you've taken the city. Like I said before, I don't think that there are that many Skaven in Talabheim anyway left. Most of them have already gone underground. If you manage to do this, if you manage to secure the sites, then you've won, and Ekmorkast has lost, and then he will need to flee. He will need to flee very fast, because the word of his failure will reach his rival's ears, says Goffert. And they will do everything to capitalize on his failure, if you know what I mean. You won't really need to kill him, because he will be already dead.
Agreed. And also killing the engineer
Yes.
may affect the
weapons usage.
the use of the siege weapons.
Yes, I agree. Not to mention it will create a power vacuum in the clan scryer's forces, which are probably predominant right now when it comes to the invading army, to the invading army's forces, really.
All right. So, are we suggesting tomorrow? It's what is it? It's the evening, right?
Well,
Tomorrow, as in 12 hours from now.
No,
high noon.
No, 2 days from now, says Suka. We'll need to coordinate all of our resources. We'll need to speak with Karsta and we need to speak with Honorius. We also need to make sure that our non-combatants will be safe. I mean, if there's a big chance that when the army attacks, when all of our armies attack, the Skaven might panic and might, well, do unpleasant things to those located in the slave pens and construction sites. We'll need to take Honorius out of the equation as well as Newt and all of the people that we can save, actually.
We might want to get them out of the city.
No, how do you want to get? Oh, yeah, the city. All right. No, I don't think that's necessary, says Suka. I think that we just need to, tell them to remain indoors. Maybe hide them in one of the abandoned buildings or few of them. Let's not overthink that. What I was saying is that, remember, we still need to contact the dwarves, the Myrmidians. Lucas needs to reach Dankerud and speak with the general. It will take some time, at least a day. Actually, my advice is that right now we take some rest and then tomorrow morning organize a meeting with all of our main members and apprise them of the situation. All of us will get a clear head. I believe that's the best idea, but of course, it's just me.
Yeah.
No, that sounds reasonable to me.
Right.
Some of us needs to recover from some major wounds.
Yes, that too.
So I guess in the meantime, we better send someone out to Hefner and give him the details of the plan.
Well,
if he can have his army ready.
Suka is like, we've spoken about it. We'll send Lucas tomorrow, not now in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Very well.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. I think you also should lay down a bit, Vincent, and take some rest. Jorn is like, he nods his head. Yavander looks at you, like you're a cripple.
Sounds good to me.
So, I guess you are all taking your well-deserved rest.
Yep.
Alright. Next day, early morning. After you've woken up and eaten a rather small but still tasty breakfast, once again you've gathered in a small, dingy basement of your safe house. This time there are more of you. There's Honorius, Kippenberg, Karsta Scheid, the baker's daughter, Tobol, the halfling, Yer Gladish, the spice merchant, as well as Otto the surgeon, Walter Gopfert, the Skaven,
Skaven Whisperer.
Skaven Whisperer extraordinaire, Newt, Silka Arendt, of course Jorn and Yavandir, who seem to, spend a lot of time in each other's company. Perhaps they're more alike than they would like to admit. And then there are also other members of your resistance of your resistance cell. These are the... I'm trying to find them in the notes. But I don't see them in the notes anymore. Wait a second. Oh yeah. Otto von Friedhurst, former surgeon. Heinz Auwig, night watchman, and Konrad Fleischer, the butcher. They are all senior members of your resistance cell. The place is cramped, extremely cramped. The basement is. This basement was small to begin with, but now it's filled to the brim with people, halflings, and an elf. You are all standing around the table with multiple plans of Talabheim and its surrounding areas. Actually, there's even a map of the whole crater. So, your men are looking at you expectantly. After all, you are the leaders. You've created this organization. There's also the Shalayan priestess. She and Otto managed to bind your wounds, so basically what this means is that Leopold, you are lightly wounded. You have 5 HP.
Okay.
Sally, you were also heavily wounded, right?
Yeah, I had one HP left.
So you are also on 5 HP. The rest can add 2 HP to their character sheets. You've been bandaged, salved. You are feeling a lot better, but still the pain is still there. It's very early. It's like outside. It's still gloomy. The snow is falling gently from the skies. You've been apprised of the situation by your men. Apparently, the destruction of the necromancer and a rather large portion of the Grand Manor has attracted a lot of attention of the Skaven. Right now, Manor District is heavily patrolled by Scryer patrols, as well as the great beasts from Geldvold, the Rat Ogres and their handlers. Karsta and Jirl told you that what this means is that Geldvold, Low District, and Merchant District are a bit more lightly defended. And right before we'll make this briefing, it's time for a 5-minute break.
Okay.
I hope you guys don't mind.
No.
My computer's rebooting anyway, so that works.
Okay, cool. So we'll be back in a few, okay?
Alright.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry about not having the notes up, guys. I'm having trouble remembering what we we talked about last as well.
That's all right. Can you
Is there anything? Yeah, I have the handwritten stuff. Is there anything you want me to go back and let you know about, or in particular?
I don't think so. I think the plan's pretty much laid out. We just need to communicate it.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel posts the sessions on the YouTubes too, so it's always a good reference.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, but trying to yeah, I don't think there's anything I need to know.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna grab some snacks and a drink. I'll be right back.
All right. Brian, are you still on, or did you restart?
No, he's off of Roll20 for sure.
Yeah, I wasn't. He's still on Skype. Brian?
lunch. Dumplings downstairs. That isn't good hearing, man. No. Dumplings downstairs.
Hey, Brian.
Yo,
Yeah, I highly recommend Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I downloaded it last night. Yeah, I've been playing it.
Yeah, it's. How
I'm
far
not
did you
sure
get?
if it's. I got to the second town after the first one was attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't tell you if it's too in depth for me, but as
Well,
long as there's places to roam and stuff, I'm down.
Yeah,
And fighting is hell.
you're. Sorry, what?
Like fighting is ridiculously hard.
Yeah, it gets. 1-on-1 isn't too bad, but if it's like 2-on-1, it's pretty rough. But the first maybe 4 hours or so, is kind of linear. It's like opening up the story, and you get quests from just a few like high leadership. But then you reach a point where then it's kind of like, here's the main quest, but go off and do whatever, pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
like Skyrim.
yeah. So you'll be on the rails probably for another hour or two, depending, and then it's kind of like, okay, you have main quests, and you have to travel for a while, and then things open up. But yeah, the combat's really interesting, and
I like it and I don't, so I'm not sure which way I'm leaning yet.
well, there's not a lot of it. Like, there are times when, like, if you're traveling, you might, little bandits and that type of thing. But a lot of the game is non-combat stuff. It's not like Skyrim where every mission you have to go and kill a dozen monsters. Which is neat. So if you like more of the story and like adventuring type quests and that type of thing, it's not all combat.
Yeah, I think this the computer updates are going to slow me down a little bit. I'm only at 21% right now.
Are you doing that big Windows update?
I don't know. I accidentally unplugged it. It's a laptop. I accidentally unplugged it, just moving stuff around, and it shut off while we were playing just a little bit ago. And I plugged it back in and went to reboot, and it's like, surprise, you have a fucking update.
Jesus. So, yeah, because there was one a little while back that everybody was like, ah. It felt like it took forever.
The worst case, hopefully Michael can make a roll or two for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be hard to call up your sheet and just press the button.
Yeah.
So my tire blew out just before game.
Did you run over something?
I think so. I couldn't find what it was, but I'm pretty sure I ran something over. Because it blasted a hole in the frickin' tire.
Oh, so it's not something they could just plug?
No, it's not shredded, but the hole looks like a frickin' claymore stabbed it.
Yeah. You can only really plug straight holes, like
yeah, like a nail. It's not like that. It's like, looks like you get shot. Well, I'm at 30% now, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe by the time we get into rolling dice.
So, the plan, can you guys run me through it? Because I was getting kind of confused. Just what's going on.
My plan is to either, at the end of this, kill Yavandir myself or pay Yorn to do it. Because he's getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
But I think it essentially we're going to be tasked with going and storming the Talabheim gate.
Yeah, so
everybody's going to fire off flares to do all the other shit.
Yeah, so our group, with as many, minus I guess a couple little raiding parties, are going to attack the gatehouse, and then the dwarves and the Temple of Meridian are going to go and defend the bottom of the Wizard's Way to prevent the army of being in a choke point. And then at the same time, the army from Dunkerroot will attack the outer walls and try to force their way in as well. So, and then we'll have a couple guys stationed just doing some harassing things out and about. Now, I don't know if there's a particular order, or if we try to make this all happen at once. But I
think high noon.
Yes. But, like, do we want to... I'm just trying to think if a particular order matters, or if it all happens at once, that's acceptable.
I also think we need to send word for the foreman to get Gennaro out to the forest.
I think that word was... Didn't we send a message with Newt to get him out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's
I thought we never
Michael.
actually did that. That's one of the things that we keep on talking about that we have done, but we haven't actually done it. We haven't contacted what's his face about it, because we said we did, but then in the notes it was, "Hey Newt, why don't you just take a rest?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we need to get word this morning.
Just to get him out of Dodge, I guess. That's one thing I think we ought to do is, since Karsta is here and she's been wanting to poison folks, we tell her tomorrow morning, like the morning before the noon attack, go nuts with everything and anything you can poison, and then just get out of Dodge at half an hour before noon. Just get out, hide.
Us, yeah.
If she can make it so some of that poisoned food makes it to the gatehouse, super. If she can only poison people outside the gatehouse, okay, that's fine. Just try to do as much damage before we have to.
She should rendezvous with us
sword.
when she's done doing that, because they're going to be on to her at that point, and she's probably safest with us.
Yeah, they might be onto her, but then hopefully by that point they have armies coming out of every temple and gatehouse But yeah, I think if she can poison breakfast and lunch, if they have that.
I wouldn't go back for lunch if she's poisoned that breakfast.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know how that works back in those times, but and then I don't know if Otto or any of the other surgeons can, or doctors can help supply with poison, or
we need to heal. I mean, we're still pretty
I'm here.
beat up.
hey.
Okay.
So, the meeting starts. They're all looking expectantly at you.
And the foreman is here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, first thing, he needs to get word or he needs to get Gennaro out with the party that's going to the forest.
All right.
So he's out of Dodge. I mean, even if they don't stage the attack, at least he's not in the city when all this is going on, where he could potentially get killed anyway.
All right, peoples and elves. Tomorrow at, well, they're people too. Elves aren't people. Tomorrow at noon, we're going to raise all hell in Talabheim and open up the way for the army of the Empire. And a lot of things are going to have to work in motion in order for this to happen. So I'm going to put my leave to Leopold here, and he'll explain everything. And I gesture over to Leopold.
All of the people are looking at you, Leopold. You know that outside, in front of your house, there's at least a dozen of your recruits on guard duty.
Mm-hmm.
You know that soon they will fight for their lives. Many of them will die.
Yeah. So Yeah.
Make it count, I guess.
All right. Well, so as you guys all know,
And Gauss, says Silka.
yes, as you gentlefolk know,
This is a very PC time in the old world. Very tolerant.
except for elves.
I've heard that, says Yavandir.
As you all know, we have learned that the Emperor's army is outside. Karl Franz.
Go France.
Sigmar be praised. So we have put in motion our plan. We are sending Lucas out to inform General what's his nuts.
Hefner.
Hefner of the plan we are setting in motion for high noon tomorrow. Tobal and Karsta, did you locate the poison globes?
I did, said Towel. And I've heard where they are storing them. It's near the old market, along the wall. Yep, says Towel. I saw the tunnels. They've drew them right into the rat holes.
Okay.
There's a huge assembly line through which the rat bastards are transporting the globes to Old Market and then to the other sites. They are huge, those globes. I mean, some of them as big as barrels, others as big as carts.
Okay. All right, and you're saying they've already moved some of them out?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
I've heard that the biggest ones are transported to the dragon's home.
Do they look like they can be punctured by a shot from a gunpowder weapon or bow and arrow?
Well, says Tubble, they look like those huge glass spheres, but I guess that, I mean, they look pretty tough, pretty hard. I'm not sure if single pistol would work.
Alright, just a thought. Continue.
So we are planning to set our plan in motion for tomorrow at noon. There will be one team will be going to open up the gates of the Talbastan to storm or somehow get inside, and we're working that out right now.
That will be most of us.
Yeah.
Here within our resistance party will be stealing, or will be going to the gatehouse.
Correct. Well, so we need some teams to go and make diversions throughout town. We need someone to summon the dwarves and the Myrmidians to come to fight at the base of the Wizard's Way, right? Or what is it called? The Wizard's Way on the inside too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. Okay, just making sure I've got it covered up with my character sheet. And then a team of us, I'm assuming Sally, Vincent, and myself, will lead this team to get into the Talbastan Gate and force it open to let in the Emperor's army. Karl Franz.
France.
Yeah, Sigmar be praised. All right. We will take volunteers for that. We also would like to figure out some way to destroy or disable the place where they are holding the poison wind globes. But
I will do that, Manling, says a voice behind you on the stairs.
Uh-oh.
And
You said that.
Is it Deadeye?
It is Deadeye.
Do we just know it's Deadeye because he's too short and we just hear a voice?
You see it. You see that it's Deadeye. You see his short but stocky build.
Okay.
His automatic crossbow sling over his shoulders. You from the last time that you saw him, well, let's just say that he saw better times. His uniform is bloody and torn. He's bandaged he's got bandages on his left arm. His beard is, all shaggy and matted with blood, but but his eyes are still sharp. Someone should tell those scientists up there that they're doing a shite job. Just saying.
We'll send them a message that you could give them.
Yeah, your lookouts for shit. Anyway.
We'll tone it down a little bit. We'll let them know.
Of course, everyone in the room is like, who's there? Who's this? It's a dwarf. How did he get here? Yavandir looks at him like he's some kind of unpleasant creature, just crawling over the ground. But on his part, Deadeye seems not to notice the elf, or at least he doesn't care. My compliments on building a well-oiled resistance movement. Very nice indeed. I thought I would join the party for the last Ura.
We're grateful to have you here, Deadeye.
Nice to be here, honestly. Although you weren't hard to find. You should have at least moved this place twice. Dangerous thing to remain in one place for so long.
Yes. Well, I see you got our signal of blowing up a dragon to come.
Yes.
To come to us.
Actually,
that's our universal signal for help.
That was some pretty nice work there. Very nice indeed. Killing an undead dragon and necromancer by a bunch of amateurs like you. I'm impressed. Nihilus was right to trust you. So anyway, he makes his way, he shoots his way past the assembled team and stands right next to Leopold. Please, Manling, continue.
So I'm trying to think. So that is our general plan. So we need someone to go to the dwarves and tell them when to attack. To the Temple of Rumidia, tell them we'll attack, and then volunteers for the various details. Our friend Deadeye here has volunteered to take care of the poison wind globes for us.
I will visit my cousins today and tell them about the attack, but I will not be joining them. There's too much bad blood between me and, some of my more orthodox thinking brethren.
Yes.
I will take few honest men and will stage an attack on the globes. Assembly line, you could say. Although
okay.
I should note that this will probably be a suicide attack.
Well, we have access to firearms, both pistols and long guns.
It's not about the guns, Manling. It's about the thing that the Skaven will probably be guarding those entrances to the rat holes with their most elite units. But
yes,
the globes need to be destroyed. I still have enough gunpowder of my own to make a few bombs, detonate them inside the rat holes when the globes are coming out, and the gas will do the rest.
Yes.
Alright, so any volunteers who think they're up to that, please see Deadeye after the meeting.
Anyone up for a suicide mission?
Yeah.
The people are here are like not keen.
Yeah.
But Sandy, you see that Hero walks forward, as well as Tobol. I will go as well, says Halfling.
Alright, well, you have access to anything in our armory.
We will gather a few other men, says Hero, a few of our recruits, those who lost everything during the siege.
Who's Euro again?
Euro is the spice merchant. He,
okay.
The Skaven murdered his entire family. His brother and his family, for disrespecting one of the Claw leaders.
Okay.
So he essentially, every time you see him, he looks like he has a death wish. He looks like a man who's already dead. While Tobo is just gung-ho, insanely brave. Aye.
Like all halflings, apparently.
Yes. Alright, says Jorn. Me and Yavandir, we will take 10 of our best recruits, and we'll try to kill the Warplock engineer.
Okay.
Is that Yorn talking or Deadeye?
Jorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are able to succeed, it's up to you on your initiative on whether you want to continue attacking the siege weapons or if you need to
If we'll succeed,
egress out of
human,
there.
says Yavandir, we'll take the fight to the enemy however we can. Rest assured. Newt suddenly walks to the table and she points at the place where Myrmidia's temple is. She, bangs her finger on the place while looking at you expectantly.
Right. I'll write you up a letter to deliver to them.
She nods her head.
Okay. Volunteer to take the message to Hefner.
Oh, I thought that was Lucas already. We assigned him that.
Yeah, I'm going to do this. I best work alone, says Lucas. Deadeye is like, alright.
Very well. And then we need some team leaders, volunteer team leaders for the harassment parties that will be taking place throughout town. Do we have at least 3 volunteers to lead teams?
I will go, says Konrad Fleischer, the butcher. Me too, says Heinz Auwig, night watchman. Silke will go with you. So, Otto von Friedhest, he looks at you. I can mobilize some of the men. I'm not that good of a fighter, but I've patched up quite a few of the boys here. So, I guess they will help if needs be.
All right. Well, remember that you're also one of our few medical specialists, so delegate, but keep yourself safe. We'll be needing your services, no doubt, afterwards.
Don't be fool, laddie, says Deadeye. If we won't be able to allow the Emperor's army's entrance here, it won't matter how many medical specialists we have. The rats and that Grey-Seer bastard will kill everyone in town if the rebellion will fail. Just so you know, just so everyone here knows. They won't let this stand. We need to win this, or else everyone dies, and Talabheim will belong solely to the rats.
Alright.
Cornelius Kippenberg says, I will go in an hour to the construction site where your friend is, and I will try and persuade the Ratman leader there to send him with the next party to gather wood. It will happen today. The next party will leave in about 4 hours from now. I can try and get him a message to hide or to try and run, but his prosthetic foot will not help matters.
All right. The morning of the attack.
But after that, says Honorius, after that I'm out. I mean, after that, if your friend will be saved by the soldiers from Dankerud, they will, the Skaven will know that I had my part in this, and I will be in danger as well as my family.
Well, if you know you'll be in danger, perhaps you might as well, if you come across the opportunity for sabotage, that would be the time to do it.
Well, as we all know, after noon tomorrow we'll either succeed or we'll all be doomed.
So yeah, any little thing we could do beforehand.
I can try and sabotage parts of the machinery in one of the construction sites. I'm not sure how well this will end, but
Yeah. It's your initiative, so do what you feel you could get away with.
I will try. But after that, I'm taking my family and we will leave the town through the south entrance. We'll settle in one of the farmhouses not far from here. I can't risk their lives.
Understood.
Sounds fair, says Jorn. The old man did enough, and there's no point in letting him die without, without any reason.
Yes.
Yeah, people, they're just like nodding their heads. Very well, says Deadeye. So, what else is there to do or to discuss?
I think that's about it. I need to just talk with Karsta about what she can do. But that's it's on the side. I think as far as major planning, that's everything, right?
I believe so.
All right, says Yavandir. So what? We have 3 Q teams. Our lot will go to the Wizard's Way. Lucas will go to the Dunker route. Dwarf here will inform his fellows and then take Spice Merchant and Halfling to sabotage at least part of the ammo shipment. And the Baker's Girl here will, I believe, try and poison at least some of the rats in the tower.
Yes.
Yes. Which Otto, the surgeon, if you have any access to poisons or anything that
I don't really, but well, no. I'm a surgeon, not a poison master.
well, you know how the body works, so
I mean, if I would have like week to work and laboratory, I could prepare you enough poison to probably kill half of the rats in this city. But yeah, it would take at least a week, and I couldn't be disturbed during that time.
Yeah,
Do we have any healing routes?
We have a few, but we will need to dispense them throughout the Q teams. Everyone will need to take a few. I still have one of my safe houses left intact, says Deadeye. There are some medical supplies, there's some food, a bit of ammo. Not much, just for a few men. But
Where is it?
perhaps you could take your team.
Exactly, it's in a place where it needs to be, Halfling. The less you know, the better. I will take my team there, so you can. You don't have to worry about us when it comes to supplies for the action.
All right. I think that's everything.
Karsta says, I mean, after the Ratman killed my father, I've managed to procure some poison. It's, my aunt is an apothecary in Merchant District. She told me a bit about, that some of the medicaments can be used as poison in right enough doses. I have access to what essentially is a rat poison, but it will need some time to work. From what I understood, at least 2 hours after the digestion, the poison will start working.
Alright.
And I don't have that much of it. I'm not sure how many rats are in the Great Tower. but if I would, well, if I would gave them the poison, it would have to be at least 3 hours before your attack, I guess.
Right. So maybe the morning meal. I don't
Right.
know when they eat, but
It depends. I mean, they don't have a fixed schedule. They come and go to my bakery as they please, but yeah, they usually come once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and usually late evening.
One thing to remember is that you don't need to outright kill them. You just need to make them sick. So maybe less than a lethal dose, you would have more doses, and it would incapacitate them in a way that would be better than just outright killing fewer.
Very well, I will do this. Remember one thing, says Deadeye. You lot that's going to storm the Great Tower, you need at least, well, you need at least 10 to 12 more men. They have a full garrison there. I visited the place. Blackford Skaven there.
do you happen to have anything that can help us get through that first gate?
Actually, no, but I know the way from which you would be able to access this place with the least fuss.
Okay. Can you make a map for us or tell us how to get there?
He walks to the map. I've accessed it over the wall. You need to make your... What's that sound?
No. Sounds like
What does it sound like?
hammering and drilling and.
Oh, I closed the washing machine.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Hey, my computer's back. Hell yeah. Okay.
You need to go over the wall, preferably outside of the city. The Skaven are keeping the least patrols on the northwestern side of the wall. I left the rope which I used to get up in place. It should still be there. You can use it. It's right here, and he marks a place about half a mile outside of the city.
Okay.
You will probably need to kill a few of the rats silently before you make your way to the tower. But if you assault from the north, then you should have at least a little... your job should be at least be a little bit easier.
A little more time.
Mark my words, if the baker girl here won't be able to poison them, you will die. There are scores of ratmen, and they are all of the elite sorts. You will need at least 12 men with you, and those men will... Well, I'm not sure how well they are trained, but I'm guessing they are enthusiastic volunteers, which means that they are already dead.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
I think
we marked individuals.
Make no mistake, those who are going to the tower will probably won't come back, just as my team is. But we'll do what we'll have to do.
All paths lead to Morr's kingdom.
No one is like commenting that. That it is, Manling, that it is.
Keep in mind, there's a difference between devotion to Morr and a death wish, Vincent. So
He didn't say it, but okay. I'm just saying, we all get there eventually. Remember Saw-land.
yes.
Right, says Suka. Very well. Little girl here will contact my lot, and Honorius will hopefully manage to save your friend and at least, send few of the rats away from the city. Every little bit counts. Now what we need to do is we need to gather our men. Tell them about the orders, tell them to gather their weapons, distribute flares and as much gunpowder as possible, and tomorrow at noon it begins.
Yes.
Every team needs to have a flare. Who fires the first one? Asks Suka.
Well, whoever's at the gate, I'm sure. That means it's on.
Now,
I think timing is critical. If we can get our team at least to the base of the Wizard's Way without drawing any attention, that would be best. And then immediately when we decide to attack, we should shoot the flare. Then the dwarves should shoot their flare, and then pretty much have a chain going all the way back towards the gates to Morr's Road.
make no mistake, says Deadeye. If you won't be able to fire the flare from the top of the Wizard's Tower, there's no need for the rest of the resistance to fight.
No,
So-
we were going to fire the flare before we made our way up there.
No, shouldn't we do it once we're
No,
up there and we
no,
open the gate?
you need to fire the flare after you take the tower.
After we take the tower?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you want to fire the flare if you won't be able to open the gate? The forces inside the crater will be massacred without the aid of the Empire's army.
Right, I was concerned about the gate sending reinforcements early.
No. First, take the gate, fire the flare. Then, my team will destroy simultaneously the ammunition supply for the weapons. Right before we'll lit the fuses, we'll fire our flare. After that,
Right.
the rest of the teams fire their flares, and the main attack begins.
That's our plan.
Very well. Everybody understood,
Yep.
Yes.
Girlfriends.
Girlfriends.
Starfronts?
Silke looks at the map. She is frowning. You do know that we will need to mobilize every single man under our command. If this won't work, there won't be any resistance left in the crater.
Right, well, we have a day to do that.
No, I
Right.
mean if this won't work, if this revolution won't work, there won't be any resistance left. Have
Won't
Right,
be any us
exactly.
either, so.
And there won't
That's
be
true.
there won't be an Empire army outside. There won't be an army in Dunkerroot. There won't be. Yeah.
If the army outside gets massacred, says Deadeye, the rats will rise en masse in every single city of the Empire. It will be like the 1111 once again.
Yep.
The scale
Then Age of Sigmar will come even earlier. Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
The age of Ratman will begin, says Deadeye. So, what I want to say is that all of us here, we are responsible for the Empire's future, just so you know. No pressure.
Hmm.
You know, the people the people in this small, stinking basement each look at each other. Most of them are not combatants, you know, spice merchant, baker's girl, medic, ex-murderer, elven smith. But what the dwarf said is true. The Empire's future rests on your shoulders. Now that's a heavy burden to bear. Whew. After that, the resistance leaders have dispersed. Honorius went to his construction site to try and take Gennaro out of the city. You are hoping that Hefner made good on his word and that Van Zandt and his outriders, as well as scouts, will attack the wood gathering party and, well, free the slaves. Although you know that there's big enough chance that you will never see Gennaro again. Newt received the letter from from you and went to Myrmidia's temple, while Deadeye made his way to the stone house to inform his kin about what's going to happen. Your team leaders, which are Konrad Fleischer, Heinz Auwig, and Otto von Friedhurst, also went each their separate way to gather their teams, arm them, and inform them about the plan. While Silka, Bjorn, Yavandir all stayed with you. Actually, Silka will, she said that she'll gather the rest of her recruits, of her men, and that she will apprise them of the situation and then meet you here in like 2 hours with with her team. So you have like another 10, maybe 15 men to organize the assault with. Karsta, of course, went back to her bakery to prepare the poison.
Before the engineer goes, I want to have him preload all the firearms for those who don't know how.
All right, he did that. Your firearms are ready. While Tobo and Jiro spoke quietly with Deadeye before his departure, and then bid their farewell to you. They know that they probably won't be making out of this one alive, and they've made their way to the rendezvous point with Deadeye after he'll speak with the dwarves. So this is it. You have the location of the entry point to the crater wall. It's on the other side of the city, actually, so you need to make your way outside of Talabheim, around it, and through the earthworks, right to the northwestern crater wall, near the village of Klarfeld, actually, which you can see on the map up top.
Okay.
The village of Klarfeld, according to Deadeye, has been completely deserted. The Ratmen came one day and took everyone inside as prisoners. They've also cleared all of the stores and houses from any food. So now it's a ghost town. But it's not Klarfeld is not the place from which you will make your entry. It's actually half a mile south of this place, between Talabheim and the village itself. So I guess this is it. You're really making this. You're really doing this. Lucas also said his farewells to you. He said that he'll probably join the assault with General Hefner's forces, quite possibly as a scout, or maybe as a line trooper, he doesn't know. But he told you that if you see each other again, then he's buying the drinks. So when Andy comes back, you can actually tell him that, well, next time you are buying all the drinks in the tavern.
Right. Let's go somewhere expensive.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Bagman's beer, elven wine, stuff like this.
Leopold's making a wish list right now.
Yeah. You can actually write down the things that you want to drink and eat on his expense. You are armed with whatever you want. I mean, each of you can have up to 2 pistols, or 1 pistol and a blunderbuss, or 1 pistol and a rifle. For dramaturgy's sake, let's say that it's possible. Each of you decide how you want to be armed.
I like the blunderbuss idea.
All right. It's it's actually it's been modified a bit. The blunderbusses used by the resistance, which have been taken from the South Quarry, they have their stocks removed, so they can actually be quite easily hidden under a cloak. You have a blunderbuss. Okay, Jason, what about you?
At least a pistol, and I'm trying to decide if I want a long gun or another pistol.
Yeah, I want to take a pistol too, just as a sidearm.
Yeah, because you said besides our conventional weapon, we can have a pistol and then another firearm, essentially.
Yeah, aside from your weapons, you can take two pistols, pistol and a blunderbuss, or pistol and a rifle.
All right. Come back to me on that one.
All right, Sean.
I just want to see what the numbers are.
Remember that whatever you take, it's one shot, and then you probably won't be able to reload it during combat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's your ballistic skill, Vincent?
Oh, and you don't need to use ballistic skill when you are using a blunderbuss, because it uses a template. But it still can go kablooey if you because you have to roll to see if it won't jam.
It's 36 is mine, only because I've been character locked.
I'm like a 39. I was just thinking maybe it might be useful for one of us to take a long rifle, because you never know.
I have a pretty high ballistic skill if you guys want me to do that.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter who carries what as long as we have it in our inventory.
Remember that I'm talking about a normal rifle, not a Hochland long rifle. Just FYI.
No, yeah.
Oh,
Right.
okay, yeah.
Rifles.
But still, I mean, a long rifle is going to have. You're not going to be able to shoot very far with a blunderbuss. That's what I'm getting at.
So, Leopold, you take my blunderbuss, and I'll take a long rifle pistol.
Can you carry a long rifle though?
Yeah. How
not to
how
be
big was it?
heightist.
I'll take the rifle and a pistol, and then Sally, if you want to shoot it, then I'll pass it off to you. I'll just have it slung.
Yeah, basically Silke reminds you that right now what you are going to do. By the way, she carries your flare. I mean, each team received 2 flares. Just in case one will misfire. She reminds you that you are leaving Talabheim right now, and you will go around the town, around the city, and right to the wall, which you will need to scale, today.
So
Yes.
wait, like another day has passed?
No, because tomorrow.
No, but it's going to take us a while to get there because Klarfeld is way outside of town. So
Yeah. So
it's going to. We've got to travel there and then be ready to go.
yeah, you need to travel there. You need to get up there.
Yeah.
You need to move closer to the main gate. It takes a lot of time.
Should we take our healing draughts now? Like those of us that are still pretty wounded?
Well, we might gain another couple hit points in the morning, at least.
Yeah, so let's wait.
But yeah, if we're still at wounds before we step out to march, then sure, best take it now.
Yeah, I only have five wounds, so I need to get that up before I get into combat again.
All right. Well, yeah, if you're still low when we step out, then I'd use what you can.
How many do we have, like, as a group, like, in the safe house?
No clue.
Come again? Sorry.
How many healing drops do we have in the safe house?
Well, you have 1 each, tops, because your other men also needed the draws for them.
Well,
Right.
let's see how we look tomorrow morning, and then if we need to take them, we can take them.
All right.
But I think we should take 2 blunderbusts and a rifle. I'll take the rifle since.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll take a blunderbuss and a pistol, and Am I going to be able to find another hammer to replace my lost hammer, or no?
Yeah, okay, let's...
We have weapons here too. There's swords and all sorts of shit.
okay, you found another hammer, no problem.
Did Lucas take the other elven sword?
Yes,
yeah,
he did.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, we gave it to him last session. He took the third one. Because
All
you
right.
have that fancy
Yeah.
dead sword.
I'm gonna need to find another dagger.
You can get another dagger, no problem.
Okay, because mine's
So-
in the wall of the necromancer's manor.
So Vincent, I'll carry a blunderbuss. You carry the long rifle, but when it comes time to shoot the long rifle, just pass it to me.
Yeah. If we need to, but yeah, they're kind of insurance because the rifles have impact as well as the pistols. The blunderbuss doesn't. So doesn't hit as hard, but it hits a lot more.
Okay, so with that, you are making your way south. You exit Talabheim. Perhaps you are seeing it for the last time. Next time, if you manage to visit, if you're going to visit your safe house, it will either be in a free city, or well, not at all. You are making your way around the city in a wide, in a wide kind of move.
Mhm.
Of course, you're always on the lookout for any patrols, and few times, indeed, you saw some movement. On the edges of the Manor district, and then later near the Darkrook Downs. But still, you've managed to pass around near the farmers' market and the Pig's Ear Tavern, through the earthworks, and then further north to Clarfeld. Between you being rather tired from all of this that's going on, hungry because the food is less than scarce, especially since you needed to distribute your some of your supplies to your other teams. The road to the place that Deadeye put on your map takes much longer than it normally would. It's also cold outside, and you notice it especially once you've exited the city and make your way through the fields, where there's no cover from the wind, from the chilly winter wind. Also, it was snowing heavily for the last few days, and so you were a few times you were walking like ankle deep in snow. But eventually, you've made your way to the crater wall. It took you about an hour to find a carefully, cunningly concealed line, which has been actually dyed in such a way as to resemble the color of the stone itself. The line goes all the way to the top.
Quick question, gear-wise. Were we in a point where, due to just us trying to sneak around, that I would not be able to take a shield?
No, you can take a shield, actually, because you weren't sneaking through the city.
Yeah, we just immediately left the city.
Yeah, and the Gudro was actually the least patrolled, part of the city. The Skaven had very light presence there.
Okay.
So so you are standing in front of the high, steep wall of the crater. You are standing in the shadow. It's almost completely dark. Right where you are. The overcast sky is not helping things, but at least you'll be much tougher to spot. Silke, Jorn, and Yavandir are with you, as well as 10 other resistance members, all tough men, some young, some old, but they are all determined to make their mark, to, do what's right to help the cause.
Okay.
Let's
I'm gonna turn to Yorn and Evandir and be like, "Why are you following us?
What?
Aren't you going after the engineer?"
Oh yeah, they were, weren't they?
Oh, sorry. So no, sorry. So sorry. So in that case, it was only Suka and 10 of the guys. Yeah, sorry.
Their eyes widen, and then they run off.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot. No, yeah, scratch that. There's only Suka with you.
Okay.
And let's make it 12. 12 resistance members. Yorn and Yalandir, of course, gathered their own team and went out to kill Ekmorkas the Sparker, the warlock engineer. If anyone's curious, Walter Gopfert was taken care of by the Shalayan priestess. The same woman that told you about him. She took him, into her protective custody. You're hoping that they will survive what's coming next, but you're not sure if anyone will. All right, says Suka. So, who's climbing first?
I'll go.
I'm gonna roll my cloak around in some dust, or some rocks, just so I'm kind of the same color as the stone wall.
You don't really need to, because all of your clothes are so dirty, stained with soot, with grime, that you don't really need any extra camo paint or soot or dust, because you already look like just very, very, very dirty people and halflings.
Stay low and try to be quiet. I'm telling that to all the other 12 folks.
They just nod their
Stay low.
they just nod their heads, and they're looking worriedly at the rope. Deadeye was probably trained to scale sheer surfaces, but you're guessing that none of these men,
I say I'll go up. Sally and I can go up because we can climb, and then we can help pull you guys up with this rope.
All right.
I want to look to Leopold. Last time I had to deal with you in a rope, you didn't make it any easier.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
I know, you're unconscious.
All right.
All right.
Wasn't that where you landed on me?
Actually, I landed on Sally, but don't tell him that.
Okay. Scale sheer surface.
If you have it, it will help. Actually, this rope is so well placed and secured with pegs that you don't need the scale sheer surface to use it, but it will help you.
Okay. Well, I'll just roll scale sheer surface, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, go for it.
Michael, can you roll for me? I have a update blocking my screen.
Okay. So, how did it went? 15.
I am 12 points over my normal scale. Why can I say that?
What time is it? Do we have time to take things slowly at this point?
No.
Okay.
You really need to get up fast before it gets dark, and it's already mid-afternoon. Remember that it's winter, so the sun is setting early, and you are right next to the crater wall, which means that it's already rather gloomy.
Okay.
Of course, you won't be able to use any light sources because the Skaven will probably spot you. So you are all making this, in a rather improvised manner.
Well, we are on the right side of the hill.
Yeah,
as long as as long as the sun sets in the east in this world.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
All right, Leopold. You began to climb, but it's very hard. You've never done this before, and around midway, you began to lose your strength. Roll once again.
Okay.
On a
wait, my screen's working again. So I can roll.
Did I mention I'm not climbing right after Leopold?
Yeah.
There's somebody in between us.
Yeah. For some reason, I made the mistake of thinking the scale sheer surface was about agility, but it's not. It's about strength, which is not. Yeah, it's not as good for me.
Oh,
Whoa!
you know what time it is?
Luck point time?
Well, let me say this like this: if you have one last chance, if you won't be able to make it, you're going to fall. If you
Yeah.
botch, you're also going to fall
Okay.
because you are losing your grip essentially, and
Yeah.
it's hard. It's rather hard for you to get up. So,
Okay. Sigmar, give me strength.
Agility.
No, it's
Use your
strength.
luck.
now it's time for the luck points.
Oh.
Oh, was that okay? So that wasn't a luck point just now to roll
No,
it? Okay.
no, that was the last
Alright.
time. Now you can use your luck points.
Okay, I'm gonna use the luck point. Okay, come on, Sigmar.
Nope.
Uh,
To your dismay,
Yeah.
you see that a small shape of Leopold, he was, well, halfway there, suddenly begins to fall. Leopold,
Gosh.
time is of the essence. You need to roll one last time to grab the line and, get down safely.
Can anybody assist at this
No.
point?
Oh,
Alright.
no
Nope.
way. Alright.
does it get a bonus for scale
Alright,
shear service though?
Mm,
Nope.
I'm going.
I apparently just have base scale shear surface.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, is this a strength test or an agility test?
It's strength.
It's a strength test.
Okay.
If I had done agility, I would have made it, but nope. Sure.
Alright, what this means, you've begun to fall. You've managed to grab the rope at the very last time, but the strength was of the fall was such that you've lost your grip almost immediately and you've struck the ground hard. What this means is that you are going to take a strength 4 hit without
Okay.
armor modifier.
Yep.
In a random place. Let's see what kind of random place it will be. And I believe it's a head. Sorry, no. Okay, so now I'm going to roll d10 at 4, and we shall see how badly you will be hurt.
So a minimum is all of my wounds remaining.
Oh. Alright, so...
I guess
Strength
I'm
of
gonna
Sigmar! Might of Sigmar.
Okay, so
Roll again!
my question is, how much toughness do you have?
My toughness is 3.
3, so it's 14 minus 3 times 2, so it's 22 damage.
On a headshot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
my-
Yeah, I had 5 wounds left, so that would leave me at
Minus 16, I believe.
yes.
I just envisioned everybody else standing in a half circle at the bottom of the rope,
Yeah.
just looking at
Um,
Leopold.
You want to use a fate point for that, man. Just not
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll-
it's not. I don't even need to roll on the critical hits because you are going to die.
Yeah.
Like I think there's 1% chance that you are going to live as a paralyzed cripple after that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Leopold fell badly. He didn't even have time to scream. He smashed to the ground. You've run forward to see if he's okay. He's unconscious. There's blood coming from his mouth and his nose. Silke immediately, began to check his pulse. He's barely breathing. I don't know how badly he's hurt. Well, says one of the recruits, we won't be able to get him up there. Someone needs to stay with him here.
Are you volunteering?
I wanted to help in fighting the Ratman, but sir, if that's your order, I will stay. But you see, you see that the man is clearly very unhappy with the prospect of staying here. He really wants to, do his job.
Understood. Does anybody else think they're not going to be able to make it up this rope? That can stay here with Leopold, and hopefully he becomes conscious again.
No one says anything. They look at each other, but they all want to fight. Silke essentially gathered.
Who's the weakest looking one?
There's like a boy of 15 summers, maybe. But
I point at him. You're staying.
I want to fight, sir. The
And you
Ratman,
You'll
might
get
still
your-
get your chance.
the Rat,
Yeah, you're
Ratman-
young. You're gonna get your chance.
the Ratman killed my entire family before my very eyes. I want to fight. I will fight.
Okay.
So,
Gas escapes from from Leopold's corpse. Leave me.
Suke is like saying, "Well, I've gathered the most diehard members of our resistance for this mission."
Honestly, it's going to sound kind of bad. Can we just find a place to hide them? Because whether we leave somebody here or not,
Yeah, I
or
mean,
not,
but-
what's that one person going to do?
I mean,
while
I'll
sitting next
I'll
to
be
Leopold?
extremely frank with you. Leopold will not be able to partake in the battle because you won't be able to take him up, and he won't, he won't regain his consciousness.
Pile some
Unfortunately,
leaves on him and leave him there.
there are
That's
there
kinda-
there are no leaves. It's winter.
We'll cover.
Snow on him.
All right, I want to take off my cloak and be like, find a nook or something to hide him in, cover him up.
Yeah, like I mean, hiding him in one of the nooks or crannies of the wall won't be any problem.
Yeah,
but you will need to keep him warm,
Yeah.
or else he'll just freeze to death, especially in the night.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take my cloak and then,
Yeah.
if anybody else has any blankets or cloak, there's no point in leaving somebody behind because what are they gonna do? They're just gonna sit there and freeze with them. If Leopold wakes up, then great. If he doesn't wake up, well, then we just have a guy
Okay.
sit with another guy,
I have a rugged blanket. We'll leave that with Leopold.
All right.
and I'll leave my cloak too, and I'm imagine he has a cloak.
Yeah. Two other recruits also took off their cloaks and covered him with them. Leopold, you had anything on your head?
I had a helmet.
Your helmet.
I think so.
Okay, so the helmet.
Mail. Yeah, we all had
The-
mail.
Oh, it was just mail on my head. Yeah.
The helmet is destroyed essentially.
Okay.
So you can write that off.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, Sean.
No, I mean, I
You
just
had 5
picked that
dice
time
rolls.
to roll shitty.
Well, hey, look at it this way. You're only the first.
Yeah, I mean, we shall see how well the others will do.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm not very confident.
Suka looks at the rope. Well, who's next?
I'll go.
All right. Go on, Halfling. If we lose any more
That's-
men to this scheme, we'll need to find another way up. Perhaps
Okay.
through one of the caves. Using the supposedly existing smugglers' tunnels. I mean, if we are going to lose more men, there's no point of us even going up and storming the gate.
So, take somebody's cloak and hold it out to catch me in case I fall.
Yeah.
I don't think it will work, Halfling, says Suka.
So is this a strength test then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Sally, roll. Nice. Yeah, essentially you saw that Sally just like
Parkouring up the wall.
Sally
All right.
just made his way, up top with with top speed and grace. Sally, of course it took you like more than 15 minutes to actually climb this wall. When you've made your way to the very top, it's windy as hell. The wind is howling all around you. It's chilly. It's almost deathly chilly. There's this small carved trail in the crater's wall, and on the other side you can see the dark wall of the forest of Talabheim's forests all around you. You can also see Talagad and hundreds of lights coming from this place. Hundreds of lights from myriad of fireplaces. Like field fires. Yeah, from the army camping outside in Talgad. It is true, the Emperor has sent help, but you will still need to let those soldiers in if you want to win this one. Of course, you are also, quickly you are quickly looking around you to see if there are any Skaven here, but fortunately there are not. There are none, at least for now. So I guess you'll be able to help your friends getting up. What this means is that first person who has gotten up the wall will be able to give a +5 to others to help with their scale sheer surface tests. So who's coming next? Oh, the second person will be able to give a +10, but only 2 people top will be able to to help in such a way, because there's not enough space up top, simply put.
All right.
And it's treacherous, basically. It's very slippery on the top. There's frost, there's ice on the top. You need to watch your every move, or else you'll be, well, there's a big chance that you'll simply fall to the side and die.
Well, as I grab the rope, I'm going to look over at Leopold and say a little prayer to Morr. Morr, if Leopold doesn't wake, let him into your gates, and then I'm going to start climbing.
All right.
So, I don't have scale sheer surface, so strength test.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's a +5. Yes. I was like, damn it, I failed, but +5.
You only have 19 strength.
It's half of strength.
Oh,
because you don't have the skill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless, since there's a rope, you don't need to do half. But
yeah, I mean, you don't need the half, because I've told you that the rope was very well placed by Deadeye.
Yeah.
So
well, we did anyway.
Sean, if you were also testing half of it, then
No. I was testing full because I do have scale sheer surface.
All right.
I just rolled like shit. So.
Would have scaled sheer surface given him a bonus?
Yeah, actually, wait, Sean, that's very important. Sorry. Okay, I'm not angry at you, but you could have told me before, because look.
He did. To be
yeah,
honest.
because look on your last roll. You've rolled 43, while we have 40, right?
Yes.
Yes, and you have scale sheer surface, right?
Correct.
And there's a bonus. You already have scale sheer surface from the rope itself, because it's so well placed.
Okay.
Yeah. So, ding ding ding, rewind.
Okay.
Retcon. Everyone have their cloaks.
Alright.
Yeah. And I still have 5 hit points.
Yes, and you still have 5 hit points. So, what I've told Sally, you were actually the first to see, Sean. Leopold was first to see the army encamped outside of the city, and hundreds of campfires lighting up the darkness. Then Sally came up, and together you've helped the rest of your party of not dirty dozen, it's like dirty 15 in going up. Of course, it still took quite some time, especially since most of your recruits, being civilians and all, not to mention, famished, some of them are sick, and many of them are simply not cut for for this kind of work. They took quite a long time in getting up. So, all in all, it almost took you 2 hours getting up the wall. So when the last of your recruits finally traversed, the crater's wall, it's already dark, and you are standing in almost pitch black darkness on the very top. The wind is howling all around you. It's chilly. It's incredibly cold. Your your worn out shabby clothing is not really protecting you in any decent way from the elements. But fortunately, you see that Deadeye left, well, probably he left it for himself. He left a little something, and that's a rather large rolled up blanket of wool. So at least few of you will be able to take shelter under it and remain relatively warm. You still need to make your way south to the main gate, to the Great Gate. Sorry, High Watch actually it's called. The High Watch is overlooking the Wizard's Way. You are hoping that everything will, work out in the end, that the plan will work out perfectly, and that tomorrow, by the evening tomorrow, Talabheim will once again be in the hands of the forces of the Emperor. But whether it will be so or not, we will see on our next session, the last session of Terror in Talabheim. I'm saying this now because I will need every single one of you to partake in this game, including Andy. So essentially, it will probably be a rather quick one. So there's a chance that we'll also start, another adventure next time.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because it's the very end, but I want everyone to be present. I don't want to leave Andy outside of it, even though he'll probably not partake much, since he got the easy job of going to Dankerud. Okay, guys, so that's it for today. It was a very, very nice game. I must say that I'm liking those planning sessions a lot.
Yeah,
they really have this cool military atmosphere. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, since we still have a few minutes left, like we usually end, we usually ending our games like 20 minutes later than now.
Yes.
I wanted to ask all of you, but I'm also going to write it on the group. What do you want to see after Terror in Talabheim? Well, first of all, if everyone still wants to play, that's the main question.
Yeah.
Brian?
I'm definitely up for continuing.
Okay. Brian?
Uh-oh.
Yo, Brian.
Oh, I had it muted. Yeah, I still want to play, definitely.
Okay. So that's the first thing. Then second thing. Do you want to return to the single adventure format, or do we want to start another campaign?
So is a single adventure like 3 sessions-ish about, or something like that?
I was more thinking about making like 2 or maybe 3 single adventures, like on the road, and then depending on whether people will want to stick with that or will want to start another campaign, we can jump into another campaign. Or we can jump into another campaign straight away. And I was thinking about the Thousand Thrones, which is my personal favorite campaign of all time.
I don't even know it, so.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm at least familiar with this one and was it Terror on the Reich?
Well, it's the Enemy Within you are talking about. It's for the first.
Yeah.
The Thousand Thrones was the last official campaign for Warhammer 2nd Edition.
Okay.
And it's massive. It's 9 chapters. It's huge. It covers like most of the old world actually. It's also very hard. It's also very hard, like punishingly hard. Yeah, because I'm running it right now for my group, for my IRL group, so to speak. And I was actually running it once a few years ago for other people, and played it once many years ago myself.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like I'm saying this right now. It's horribly brutal. It's fair but brutal. So you know.
Can we do like 2 or 3 standalone adventures on the way back to Nuln, and then a
Well,
campaign?
it's going to be a spoiler, Sally. You're not going back to Nuln.
Okay.
Well, I think the idea maybe of doing like adventures on the way to wherever the next one takes off isn't a bad idea.
Okay.
I mean, if everybody else thinks that, because I mean, sort of like we did this one where we did like at least one sort of adventure on the way there, if not 2. I think might have done 2 because we did the dream sequence one and the rough night at the Three Feathers, right?
Yeah. Well, you've got the dream. You've got the haunted mansion, like the haunted house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
You've got the dream. You've got there was the, but I don't think you were playing with us, Sean, back then. There was the huge single adventure about the heralds in Noun.
Yeah, no, that one I missed. That was you guys had already completed, more or less completed that before I got there.
Yeah, it was massive. It was actually like a demi campaign of its own. It was so. We've played it for so long. Well, like I said, I'm cool with you like playing 2, maybe 3 single adventures. Of course, you know, it will also depend on whether I will find cool adventures for you to play. But I have.
Yeah. I would say to me that sounds the best is if you find something that interests you to run.
Yeah.
on our way to the next one. That's cool. And if not, then we just jump into the next one. If that's okay with it.
Because. Like I said, your characters are already very high level, so I'm not going to run the Paths of the Damned campaign, which is kind of like an introductory campaign for the 2nd edition, because you are simply overqualified. And I'm not a huge fan of tailoring enemies because I'm rather bad at it. Something which my players could tell you, because you know on our last session there was a total party kill as the goblins on spiders. Massacred the entire team, and I was pretty sure that it will actually be the other way around, that you know the team will massacre the goblins, but no, such was not the case. The goblins won. Yeah, so that's that. That's why I wanted to run the Thousand Thrones eventually, because it's a fantastic campaign. It's really well written. Even some of the Black Library writers participated in writing that. And B, it's actually challenging for your level of like characters.
Okay. Now, timeline-wise, would it kick off immediately after
yes,
this campaign's events, or will there be a month or so administrative character developing type stuff we can do?
It will be a month or so on the road before you reach the starting point of the Thousand Thrones, during which time there will be a time for 1 or maybe 2 or maybe 3, but I would rather think about 2 single adventures on the road, which will also help in you getting some fate points. Because I would like you to have a bit more, because Thousand Thrones is like, you know, fate point sponge, essentially.
Yeah, as I say, I probably need more than 2.
Yeah. I mean, after turn in Talabheim, if you manage to survive, your characters will receive a single fate point. Because, you know, at the end of the campaign. But I will want to... I would like to give you at least 1 more before we'll start the big boys adventure.
Yeah. I just want to make it so it's not, depending on career choices, it would make sense to, you know, have enough time for that to happen before just getting up and leaving again.
Well, like I said, depending on how fair you will do in Talabheim. First of all, there will be like some time off in the city itself, if you won't destroy it. And after that, there will be at least a month on the road.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to tell you where you will travel, I won't be spoiling it right now. You will probably learn it on the next session.
Okay.
But it will take some time to get there. And some time means character advancement opportunities, career advancement opportunities, and of course single adventures, which I like a lot. Because well, there are many great single scenarios for me to run. Okay, but so the general consensus is that we are finishing Talabheim, then 1 or 2 single adventures, and then the campaign.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm open to either
Sounds good.
either way.
Okay.
So yeah.
Brian, what about you?
I'm down for that. My concern is to finish out this career, I have to have a criminal organization.
You will have
So-
that after the campaign.
Okay.
Essentially, you will. But just so you know, Brian, you won't be able to run with like your 20 plus guys.
Right.
Okay. We will. We
But as
will.
long as it can work independently of me, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So that,
yeah. They will, and they will be your guys. Spoiler alert: probably Jorn will be taking huge part in this organization. Let's be honest.
Okay.
I mean, even from like Jesus Christ, I can't speak today. Sorry. Even from logical point, he's like the only criminal here that would probably be, more than willing to work with you, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So you will have that. None of you needs to worry about their career advancements after Talabheim. Like, you will all get what you want. You will all be able to learn what you want. Languages, tactics, whatever you want. Like, don't worry about this. It will be given. It will be given during the so-called downtime.
Heraldry.
Yeah, no, heraldry.
Yes, he will study heraldry with a master.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, of course, no problem at all. Okay, so guys, that's it for today. Points. I will. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, could someone write down my points for me? I have an inbound call from my dad. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone for today's game gets 60 points.
Okay.
Everyone gets 10 points for their characters. Everyone gets 10 points for. No, sorry. Everyone gets 10 points for their characters. Now, place of birth. Brian gets none. I really need to speak with him about his place of birth stuff. Okay, Jason, you were mentioning something about Solent.
That was Leopold.
Yeah, that was me.
So were you Wissenland enough?
I can't say that I was.
All right, sorry about that.
I don't think I rate it,
Okay,
to be honest.
Sean?
Yeah, I was trying to be more Wissenlandy with the dropping Solend. Also, the sort of all roads lead to Morr, kind of the depressiveness of the Wissenlanders. I don't know if that really came across or not.
3.
3?
Sorry, 3. 10. Jesus Christ, my bad.
I'll take 3.
What
I
was-
don't care.
What was the question?
Place of birth, Brian.
Place of birth. Didn't do anything specific to Talia other than giving Vincent a hard time for the whole mansion mission. Like, you owe me type stuff.
I can give you 5 points for that top.
What did we get for the
Characters
the
10
set-
points, and for the game itself 60.
Yeah, so 70
Okay.
each.
That's all you missed.
Okay, so after that, religion, Brian.
I didn't say anything about my own gods, but I said a little bit about Vincent's.
Yeah, there was something like that. That was pretty nice. 5 points for you. Jason and Sean, you each get 10 points.
Okay.
Actually, Sally, Brian, I was actually waiting for your trade against Jason and Morr. I was really looking
Yeah,
forward to
it was a lot shorter than I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Because we were in planning mode at that point.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there'll still be time for that, but you did mention it, so it was quite okay. Okay, after that we have
We killed a dragon.
yeah. Well, after that we have Star Sign Brian.
Ria's Cauldron, I can't think of anything. Righteous, Fearless, Merciful.
Righteous. Well, you were fearless in your. Actually, I will give you 10 points. I was honestly surprised that you volunteered to go to the, to the High Watch.
Yeah.
You knew that that it's going to be probably one of the toughest, toughest jobs out there. So 10 points for you, Jason. Your
Gungren's Baldric, Martial Prowess, Profession of Arms. Didn't do any combat, but as far as
no, but you were planning. You were planning,
yeah.
so 10 points for you. I still see that, Jay. I mean, you were having brain farts.
Well, I think a lot of those were miscommunications where I meant one thing, but you took it as something else, and it was throwing both of us off. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that you did, but actually it was very fitting for your state. You essentially had a building, collapsed on you.
Yes. But I was pretending like it wasn't affecting me, and apparently it was, which is good. It played well.
Yeah, that's why you're getting 10 points. Sean, your star sign?
Cacklefax the Cockerel. I think the only opportunity I had was trying to make a list.
Sorry,
of all
just a little off. Every time you're saying this, I'm thinking Cacklefax the Cock Blocker, but I don't know why. Because in Polish, it's actually it's something completely different. It's like Cacklefax the Rooster. Actually, but
Yes.
Goddamn
Cockerel is
Cacklefax, just trying to get laid
old-timey
here.
English for a rooster.
yeah, and actually, it's cock blocking every time. Okay.
Well, every time Sally and Silka are alone, here comes Leopold.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Well, I mean,
Never works.
none
You're
of
with
you.
Morr. She's with Mermidia.
What are you guys talking about? Can I talk?
Can I hang out with you guys, please?
Cacklefax, god damn it.
But anyway,
yes.
the only thing I really got to do was I was trying to make a list of all the things I was going to have Lucas buy me in our drinking session after we won. But other than that,
so you really did that? Okay, that's very cool, actually. I assuming you did that.
well, I didn't actually write it out, but it was what's the most expensive drink I can get him to buy me?
Okay, that's actually pretty good. 10 points for that because I like this kind of stuff a lot. Doom, Sally.
The Blind Maiden Shall Weigh Thy Soul. I've been pushing for the whole Genera rescue thing, even when everybody else thinks it's a bad idea.
Just yapping here.
No, yeah, stupid elf.
Yeah. Okay, so what would you say, Brian? How many points would you give yourself?
Like 5.
Okay, so that's a
This is
deal.
not like an outright. Yeah.
So 5 points for you, Jason.
Doom is the tiniest of Tal's children will feast upon thy gut. Nothing I really said kind of led to that. I don't think a zombie dragon has anything to do with the tiniest of Tal's children, so I think I'm going to have to pass.
Okay. Sean?
What was it? The hourglass shatters before the last grain falls, I think is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it might be double dipping because I was just like, we're all gonna go to Morr one day, so.
Yeah, actually, that was pretty good because you were
Mhm.
saying stuff like that quite a lot. I am going to give you 5 points for that. Okay?
Okay, that works for me.
Yeah, and then Sally gets 5 points for his halfling. Every one of you gets 5 points for taking parts in planning session because each of you had good ideas. Okay, and I've decided to actually make a little change in giving away the experience points, since I know that we all have commitments, children, there's stuff happening. Well, I mean, not everyone have children here, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Children you don't know you have.
Yes, well. What I mean is that those of you who will not be able to partake in the session will get half of the points. Half of the average point sum.
Okay.
Or you know what? No, different thing. Which one of you got the most points?
I got 95.
I got 105.
Okay.
70, 80, 90, 100. I got 110.
So Lucas gets 55 points because it's half of the points of Sean here. I think that's a fair thing to do.
Yeah, that works.
He will be able to still advance in his career. And I know that you're not the kind of people who don't show up on sessions because you're lazy as good for nothing slackers, but you really sometimes don't have time to play, just like I do from time to time.
Yeah.
And I said that because I actually used to play with people who were too drunk, too stoned, or just simply too shit to come to an appointed meeting.
Yeah.
Which I don't really like in any real life situation when I'm organizing a meeting with someone. I expect that if we are appointed, then it's on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just people
Yeah,
flaky.
but in this group, I'm liking a lot the fact that we are all really respecting each other's time. And there are no situations like that. Me and Brian, we had 2 players for a very short time who were doing this shit.
No, like one, he would show up, but then he would just troll the game, and then the other guy, he would just disappear for weeks on end.
Yeah, then he would write some half-assed excuse and then disappear again. So yes, that was not fun.
Yeah, honestly, people who show up and then try to take the game off the rails, to me, are worse than people
yeah.
who flake out.
Yeah, that guy was terrible. He never answered us back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was a good thing, I think. I've actually once had 2 players for a rather long time. I'm not playing with that group anymore, but one was actively derailing every game that he was in.
Yeah.
And he was rather vocal about not wanting to play at all. He just wanted to hang out with us, and he was angry that we've chosen RPGs as our meeting focus, so to speak. And the other guy was doing exactly the same thing, but yeah, he was just doing exactly the same thing. That's why I'm very, very, very selective when it comes to people that I'm hanging out with nowadays. Because good people are hard to find, and they are definitely very they're worth to keep. It's worth to hang out with them, and no joke, I think that right here we are having a very, very nice, tight crew. And I would like to, keep it that way, at least for some more time.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so that's it for today. I'm going to write on the group about our plans. Oh, by the way, next game, 2 weeks. 11th of March is okay?
Think so.
I believe so. Ooh, daylight savings time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So, all right, which way are we going? We are.
We're going to
Right-
spring forward.
Right now, it's 10 p.m. in Poland.
All right.
Okay, so you're 6 ahead of us.
Yeah.
Do you have
His
a?
daylight savings is not next weekend though.
Yeah, but we have different time savings, you and I. I mean, states.
Sean doesn't change at all.
Yeah, I'm not going to change. Well, but that's the thing is everybody else does, so the game does actually change for me. My time doesn't change. But I think because I think if I want to say it'll go back to 10 a.m. in the morning for me, because right now it's been happening at 11 a.m.
Okay, yeah, I think that's right.
When does your time change happen in Poland?
Mm,
A few more weeks.
I think a few more weeks. You know, I will check it out, and it will probably be a combined post about our next plans games wise and time changing. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, as far as I can tell, the 11th should be good because I know. We start our spring break, but because my wife started a new job, we're not going to be able to go anywhere. So.
Okay.
If it's an hour earlier or later for me, it should work also, I believe. So the
Okay.
time change shouldn't affect my availability.
Okay. You know.
Yeah,
You know what,
neither.
guys?
It'll just affect our confusion starting the game.
right now, let's just keep it the 11th of March. It
Mhm.
also depends whether Andy will be able to play. Like I said, this last game, I will really need all of you to be, to be
Yeah.
present. So,
Okay.
if it means that we'll play like a week later, we'll play a week later.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem.
Yeah, and we'll figure out the time changing, thingy along the way.
Okay.
But that's it for now. Thank you very much for playing. Next time, next game is the end of Terror in Talabheim. We'll probably, even if we finish early, there'll still be like the post-credit scene,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and we'll talk about the game, what you liked, what you didn't like, stuff like this. Of course, hit me anytime you want on Messenger. I'll be happy to talk, to speak. So that's it for me.
And I gotta say that game is really good, so that's why there aren't any sketches
Oh,
for the
yeah.
last session.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, also, it's not just my fault. My wife wanted me to do a Boss Ross painting, so I had to do that too.
Oh.
So had to share my wondrous talents.
No, I
with
mean,
my-
of course, I'm joking, Jason.
Yeah, I know.
When it will be done, it will be done. If you do it at all, I mean, let's be honest. You're
Yeah.
doing this in your free time. The sketches are fantastic, but it's
Yeah.
definitely not an obligation from you, and we don't expect it from you, in any way. They're just really damn cool.
Yeah. No, they're great. I really enjoy them.
Yeah, and I'm showing it to my hobby friends, and they're very, very, very jealous. They're like, "Holy shit! Why don't we have someone like this?" And I'm not joking. They're really saying that. They're really like, impressed with your work and with Sean's blog posts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. yeah.
Yeah, Sean. Blog posts that we haven't seen in a while.
The excellently rewritten blog posts.
Yes.
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. No, but this thing is amazing, and yeah. Just saying.
Cool.
Okay. See you later, guys.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
take care, man.
Yeah.
Good
Bye-bye.
game. See ya.
Take it.